if the Earth's energy budget was balanced, energy coming in is equal to energy going out, what would be this number? What is this number at the top of the diagram here? 342, and you subtract 107. So that's just saying, okay, if it's balanced, then the amount coming in equals the amount leaving. And so the amount coming in, you could think of as, you know, whatever's coming in from the sun minus what's reflected right away, and whatever's left over is going out. Or you could do it the other way and say 235 plus 107 equals 342. So as long as the arrows leaving the atmosphere equal the arrow coming in. So that's when the Earth is kind of in steady state. So I want to connect this then to temperature, because, you know, we're talking about global warming, right? Warming refers to temperature. I'm talking about radiation here. So we have to kind of connect these ideas. So temperature, you have to know, is a measure of energy. It's the technical definition of temperature is the average kinetic energy of the molecules in a substance. And kinetic energy just means the energy of motion of molecules in a substance. So it's basically how fast the molecules are moving. That means that, you know, we've just defined here all of the energy coming into the climate system, all of the energy leaving the climate system, and I've said that temperature is a measure of energy. And so that has this really important implication in climate science. And it's this vastly simplifying, useful conclusion. And that's that there are only 3 ways to change the global average temperature. And what ways am I referring to? I'm referring to these ways on the diagram. So you can change the temperature by changing one of these 3 things, and that is the only way to change the global average temperature averaged over basically a long period of time, and averaged over, when I say global average, I mean averaged over space. So any like climate change that you've heard about in the past, so the climate has changed a lot in the past, it has to have come through one of these 3 ways. Any climate change that we're talking about contemporarily, or, you know, like a geoengineering solution to climate change or something like that, those all would have to come through one of these 3 ways. So anything that you can think of that's changed the climate has to be doing something to one of these components of the energy budget. So a useful exercise is try to think of ways to cool the Earth or ways to warm the Earth in terms of these energy budget components. So an example would be, you know, a way that the Earth could warm would be that the sun gets brighter or the sun gets hotter, and so starts emitting more radiation towards the surface of the planet. And so that would cause the Earth's temperature to change. Another example would be if somehow clouds changed, like let's say we reduce the amount of clouds on the planet, that's going to reduce the amount of radiation reflected back to space and is going to warm the planet that way. Okay, so that is this second one. The 3 fundamental ways to change the Earth's energy budget are those 3 components on that diagram. They're also the 3 components on your